Hey guys, David here, Mindful Kung Fu on behalf of Sudaquan Academy. Today we're going to talk about Qi, we're going to talk about internal power, and we're going to talk about it in terms of receiving and redirecting your opponent's energy. Let's go get into this. Hey guys, when it comes to receiving power, or receiving Qi, or receiving your opponent's energy, it's going to start with the path. What do I mean by path? I mean, what intent or what path are they moving towards you? In this case, we're going to talk about them moving straight energy towards you like this. As they come in, I have to allow them to come into my center. That's important. Everything comes from the center. As I allow them to come from my center, then I can then move my center easily. If I try to move them out there because the lever is really long, it's going to be really hard for me, okay? I'm not that strong. So I want to bring them in towards me on their designated path that they wanted to bring in the first place. So essentially, I'm allowing them to do whatever they were intending to do, right? And when I teach my kids, I talk about bringing them in to the car, and then we can drive them to the store, okay? So bring them in, just like this. As you do that, then you can turn the waist and then the redirection. Many ways to redirect here, but the most important thing is to allow them in, so that way the lever becomes shorter, and now I have way more control over moving them. Now the second part has to do with the feet. Let's take a look back here. So now that you can see my full body, I'll talk a little bit about the feet. So the idea here is, here's that straight energy again. As it comes in, the energy is on the left leg, nice strong left leg, and receive by bending the back knee and shifting back. So essentially, we're a trapping system, and the trap is here in the right leg. So I'm here, he comes in, he pushes, I let the trap go here, and it pulls me back. So instead of them pushing from the front and responding from here, as soon as they touch me here, this is the first thing it moves. Kind of sneaky. So I move from here. See how this works? Push, move. Push, move. This is how you become one system, one idea, one body. Now as they come in, I move, and as I move, I sit down on that foot and spiral that energy into the ground with my intent. There needs to be intention of straight down energy there without moving the body and giving yourself away. So yes, there is alignment. Once again, we've talked about this alignment before. This alignment has to happen. The butt is tucked. It's not going back like this. And I'm sitting back, and that energy is there. My grandmaster would say, sit down like you're on a stool. So he comes in, he pushes, I sit down on my stool. Once again, he pushes, I sit down on my stool. As I sit down, then I can just turn the waist from the center of the body and easily redirect them, just like this. So it looked like this. He pushes, I shift, redirect, release whatever's here. I release it, let it come down. At the same time, it spirals in the ground and allows me to move my waist. Same thing on the other side. I can shift this way and then now redirect them this way. So it works either side of the body. All right, now let's take a look at it with an opponent. Hey guys, for those of you who watch the other videos, you know my buddy Andrew over here. He always likes to help out. Thank you for that, by the way, Andrew. So he's going to play the other opposing energy that's going to come in, so we can look exactly how we just described it, or how I just described it to you, okay? So here we go. So the key here is we have this energy moving and flowing through. In this case, our toe to toe, that's totally fine. Notice that the energy, we talk about this, is coming from the ground. So in his case, for your opponent, it's coming out of the ground from him, or it's coming from your opponent, depending on the situation, but we'll talk about it this way for right now. So it comes out of the ground, from the back leg, moves into his front leg. Now I'm taking the place of the hit, because officially he's using this, whack! Okay, but instead, now my front leg moves, and then I move to the back leg. See? So we've literally created this full flow. Whoa. And we can go back and forth, right? Back and forth. And I need to be really sensitive, so that way as soon as I feel it, I can move. That way I don't disrupt the flow. Notice that if he goes here and then I move, you can easily see I disrupted the flow. So you can tell that, yes, we're kind of describing this, but it's not something that you get right off the bat. It takes a lot of training and practice, and so forth and so on. But in this case, he moves and flows, right? In Tai Chi, they talk about this being the two-person saw, right? You don't want to stop the blade up. So you want to flow with them. When it comes to redirection, I know the energy starts there. It's going to the back leg. Now, in order for me to push my energy in the back leg, I turn my waist like I showed you before. Okay? In this case, as I turn my waist, I bind him up. See? Yeah. And his energy that's moving and me not being here, boom, is exactly what binds his arm up. So it's kind of funny. It's not me. I'm feeling the flow and then just turning and redirecting that flow of chi. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. So it comes through him here, and then I turn it, and it redirects. So the redirection is also the binding, right? So in this case, pushes in, and as I turn, boom, I bind him up, and I'm easily move him from where he is, okay? So once again, he pushes, I move, boom, I turn, and it moves him, right? If he goes a little faster, it's the same thing. We turn, boom, see, and I can move him. And it's all about timing. Well, I can't say that enough. This is a really timing thing. And for those of you out there going, what about in a real fight and they come at me really fast? Yeah, exactly. Timing is everything. So we practice it this way. Get the feel. This is a more of a, we were just talking about that actually, Andrew, about the difference between mechanics and technical versus
the feeling of it. Versus the feeling of the move. Exactly.
Yeah, the feeling of it.
Yeah.
So this is probably more of an understanding the technical aspects of it, but actually in a situation, it would have to be a feeling,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you don't know this person, you don't know what's going on. But for us, it does allow us to play with energy and understand energy. Now, something else I do want to bring up to this, okay, is that he expects to hit me here. He's putting a lot of power from that back in order to hit me here or push me here in this case. Now, when I move, I automatically take him off his balance because he wasn't planning to be in this place. So, I'm taking him off balance, but putting me in balance. As I sit and stay strong, I'm not releasing this, or one of the things that we see is the back going back like this, and really responding from a top half instead of moving from the lower half, right? So as he comes off balance, I go in balance, and then boom, yeah, I rack that up, and now I have him. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson on redirection of energy, receiving redirection. And it's also a lot about allowing something to come through and then letting it go. Letting it go. Think about that concept. We can certainly use that in our life too, can't we? Well, check out the other videos, and remember, life is about passion and expression. And as my Grandmaster always says, martial arts is not something you do, it is certainly something you are. Thank you very much. Until next time.